Yes.
Okay. So we started the recording. I think we should introduce ourselves first. So you begin because you're the prettier person in the conversation.
So, what's up, guys? Hey, my name is Shachaf. Okay, from Israel. I'm working as a marketer. I have a social media agency, and my mission here in this podcast or in this video, wherever you're listening and watching, is to give you as much value as you can and express my way, my path, in order to achieve my goals and helping as much businesses that I can to grow their businesses. So I will share my experience here, and from my knowledge, I try to give you as much as possible.
Awesome. Yeah, so my name is Amir. I'm from Israel too. And as Shachaf said, me too, I'm a marketer. And we both had a long way that we had to go through in order to get from the place where we are like working for somebody else into a place where we can work on our own and have our own agencies and our own jobs, like being self-employed. I'm in the marketing business for 5 years, and we thought that in this first episode we can tell you a bit of my story, so you'll be able to take it to your own life and try to transform things for yourself in order to achieve this self-employment title. Well, so let's begin.
Start.
Yeah. Okay, so
Great.
I'll tell you about my background. 5 years ago, I was working as a guard in a night shift. I had night shifts, and
Like a security guard?
yeah, a security guard with a
Okay.
gun. I was impressive and everything. It was nice, but I figured out I'm not getting anywhere, you know? So I started to learn. I managed to bring my computer with me to the work.
Why marketing? Like you started to learn marketing right away, or what was your learning?
Yeah, so I just, at the beginning, I just wanted to figure out how can I make money from the internet. It's like,
Why you knew someone who made money? Like
yeah,
was the
I
idea?
talked about it with a few people. I had some like enterprises before. I tried to do some business before. I built a website once and I wrote a lot of content to it, so I liked it. But somebody was telling me about this guy, Ben Malol. Maybe you know him. Yeah, I think you
Yeah,
know him.
sure.
So I started to watch his videos. He had a lot of free stuff on the internet. He had a Facebook page and some content on
If
YouTube.
you guys don't know, Ben Malol is very known marketer. He had some big online stores. He made a nice fortune. So whoever listening, you can Google him and get some perspective. So go
Yeah,
ahead. So,
you must. That's a good idea. He's a really good guy. A funny story.
but
I managed
my
to.
my question here, and I bet someone that will listen will figure out. Like you said, you made a gig and you built website, but what drove you into that? Like where you started, you had a 9 to 5 work, and you've been a guard in the security guard in some place. So how come you managed to build website? This is the interesting thing for me.
Actually, the website came before I started as a guard. I had like this army service, and right after that, I talked to a friend, and we decided to build a website and maybe try to write some stuff. We didn't have a business plan. We actually haven't made any money from it, but it was fun.
It was like your friend like was let's do this thing, let's try, let's see if it works.
Yeah, so we both took courses on Udemy and Coursera and learned some stuff. And then we started to work. I don't know. I made most of the content on the website. He was like the coding.
What was the website about?
It was about self-improvement, but in like healthy aspects of life, like how to sleep better, how to exercise and stuff like that. Like how to put good habits into your life without like feeling it having to take a lot of your time, you know. So we tried to
Okay,
do something
so
with, yeah.
you had a 9 to 5 job, and then you had this idea with your friend, and then you realized that you have so many blank time that you want to use it in order to create something that will make you an income, right?
Yeah, definitely. And
Okay, so then
after the website like failed, we figured out it's not going anywhere. I started these night shifts as a guard.
it always starts with the first failure. Oh.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure it will keep be a failure, you know, in some way. It's important. It's a part
Yeah,
of the way. You have to fail.
you gotta love the failures, huh?
Mm, definitely. I love it. And
But
well, so I started as a guard, and I like, you know, I thought about how to make money online, how to build something that is bigger than this fucking job.
what was your income back then from a security guard?
It was low. It was about, if I'm translating it to dollars, it was about $2,000 a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Uh, yeah, so you know, I had to figure out something bigger than this. So I started to like trying, you know, I built a Shopify store and I started to learn how to drive traffic into it with the
if
Facebook
if you
ads.
don't know someone, Shopify is a platform that gives you the opportunity to build websites, to build actually a electronical store that you can drive traffic and sell items online. So also Google it, okay? It's great. We will talk about it.
We can put the link. We can put the link if you want
I
to
have
start
less
there.
experience with Shopify, but definitely a great source of vertical to work on. And then what was the Shopify store about, Amir?
1 second, I'm writing to myself to put a link below. The store was about nonsense. The name of it was Good Life Gadgets. That was the
Okay,
name.
that's
And I and I,
nice.
and I found some random stuff on the internet that I can sell.
Buy from AliExpress and
Yeah, definitely from AliExpress. And
okay.
yeah, so I started to drive traffic into it, and I had some sales, and I managed
Oh,
to like,
really?
yeah,
Where you've bought your traffic from? Like Facebook ads?
only Facebook, but it wasn't profitable. I managed to get sales, but it didn't
Oh,
cover
okay.
the advertisement
The
cost.
cost.
Yeah, so
Okay.
after a month of this, like I learned a lot about creative and about how to build content in a right way, like copywriting. And after that, I decided that I should do something bigger and I should use bigger budgets. So I started to look for a job in an agency, an advertisement agency, and I sent 40, like 40 applications. 5 of them came back to me, and 3 of them accepted like meeting me, and 2 of them offered me a job. So I had the privilege to decide which one I want better. So
So
I
what was
went.
your position at your first job? What was it
I
like?
was just
Marketer?
not even a marketer. You know, I didn't understand it. This pigeon just committed a suicide over there.
Damn. Okay.
Well,
Small commercial.
yeah. So I had,
Don't
yeah.
drink and drive.
Pigeons, an awesome
Okay.
community of
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
suiciders. Yeah. So I had this job mainly on creative. I didn't spend any budget that I thought I was going to do, and I like
Ah,
managed to.
you were just putting the creatives and
Yeah, I
creating everything.
wrote Gantz. I wrote creative
Oh,
for a whole week, and then sent it to our customer, the advertisement agency customer, and he approved it, and then I scheduled it on the pages. Um,
oh, so just for someone who listen, creative is the banner, the sponsor ad that you see in your platform. If you're scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, and you see
mhm.
sponsor, then what do you? The thing that you see is this is the creative. It's the target is to get your attention, get you to click, get you to want to learn more. So in marketing word, the name is creative. Whatever is video or photo. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, good stuff over there. Well, so in some point I decided that this is not
Wait, so your salary got improved? Like you got the double?
not by much. It went from
Okay.
$2,000 to $2,500. Okay.
But at least you've done something that you see value at, no? This
Yeah,
is
I learned a lot about mainly about this creative, what you explained about how to write content that moves people into action. And
okay, that's great.
yeah, it was great. I learned a lot of stuff, but somewhere in the back of my head, I had this feeling that I'm not doing what I really want to do. I liked a lot the like working with numbers, running a campaign and then figuring
Yeah,
out which,
statistics.
yeah, definitely, and figuring out which audience is working better and what creative to like put more budget on.
Hmm.
So I started to
Yeah,
look
as
for
far
another.
as I know, there's two people in marketing. The one who are the artists and the ones who are the mathematician, okay? Or whatever you say.
Yeah,
Like the people who love numbers and the people who love the designs. Really, this is the two sides of this game. So
yeah.
if someone that listens right now decide what you love more and be expert at.
If you want to be a marketer, maybe you have something
Yeah,
else.
of
Maybe you are
course.
like a Pilates teacher, or I don't know.
Hmm.
But marketing is a
So
great
get
tool.
someone to do your ads. Don't do it by yourself. Waste of time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can learn to do it yourself, but you have to take into consideration that you will have to invest a lot of time in it, and it won't be like an easy task to do as people are trying to make you believe. It's a skill to learn, just like you learned your main skill if you're a yoga teacher, then learning yoga. And
Yeah, sure.
but it is a great tool. But
Okay.
I think most marketers, by the way, are somewhere in between.
Mhm.
Like they have more of the creative side or the mathematics side, and but somewhere you will have to learn how to love both of
Yeah,
them
of
probably
course.
if you want to
If
be
you're
good
doing
at
by
it.
yourself, of course.
You are a great creative guy and you run ads and you understand the mathematics, but you do a great job on both sides.
Yeah. I'm
So
feeling that I had to improve more on the creative because I like to see numbers and to understand them.
mhm.
But as far as I'm doing, I do understand that the creative is it must be the most crucial thing. Like creative can do the whole work. Like really, but this is another topic because I don't want to get into this deep. But I would
Mm.
love to hear how you made the transition from being an employee to actually being a business owner or at least a freelance.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you. It's well, I just figured out on the way that I can make a lot of money. But by the way, I got fired from this company I talked about.
Why?
Uh,
What
it
happened?
was like a mutual. We decided it together in some
Ah,
way.
okay. It felt like it's the good thing.
Yeah, I stopped like investing my time on it after the work hours. That's the point. When you're like getting into a job that you have almost no background to get started, you will have to over promise at the beginning in order to get in, and then you will have to over deliver in order to stay there. And at some
What
point,
they demand you to like they made you deadlines that you couldn't have.
I had deadlines, yeah, and I because of
But
a lack of experience, it was hard for me to, to get there. So I had to work extra hours from home and sometimes stay
okay,
at the office until 10 p.m. It was crazy, yeah, morning to evening. It was, I loved it, so we
that's a
didn't think.
dedication.
Yeah, yeah, I love working. That's a good point, though.
Okay.
We should talk about it a little bit. If you want to become a self-employed at something, you should make sure that when you're doing what you want to do, it feels more like a game than a job. You're waking up in the morning and feeling inside of you that you're about to have fun today. You're not about to do stuff that you don't really want to do. And that is a
Totally.
good point because you will have hard times. You will have hard points when you will have to solve big problems you're not used to. but most of the time you will enjoy just waking up, start working. You won't even look at the watch, except times you have meetings with people, and you will just work because it's fun. Um, well,
Totally get
anyways,
it. Yeah.
so going back to my career history, I um, I got into another job, another advertisement agency. This time, I managed to get into the position of the manager of the marketing department. It was a big startup. They mainly built websites, and they had some services that weren't like about marketing. So I had to get leads for them, and they had some clients that big clients, by the way, that they had to like do PPC, mainly PPC for them. And again, I overpromised before I got into this job. I told them I know how to Google Ads, how to do Google Ads, and I had no clue. I just started the course on Udemy. So yeah, so I ate a lot of like dust at the beginning. I had to learn a lot. I studied Udemy. It was my best friend for a while, and I read a lot of articles about Google Ads. And eventually, I managed to do good campaigns for them. But on the way, I figured out that I can make a lot of money by doing it by myself. I am getting good results to the people I'm managing their campaigns, but I'm getting only a portion of the salary I should get from this work because the company I'm working at is getting most of the money. So it was like in my head. So at a point, I just like, I decided, okay, this is time for me to go and do stuff by my own. So that
So
was
for
the
how
point.
long you worked in that position? Like six
Half a
months, 1 year,
year, half a
half
year.
a year, okay, 6 months.
Yeah. And I got out of
So the turning point was that you felt like you don't get paid enough and you can actually do it.
that. That was one of it. Yeah, that was one point. But I had another one, which was I maybe it's only me, but I think some of you in the audience can relate. I don't like this feeling of like explaining my actions to someone which is above me, and I especially if they don't do what I do, I just have to explain them the numbers without they understand it. And so basically I don't like when somebody else is paying me uh, a salary for stuff he doesn't understand at, and especially if I can make more money by doing it by myself. So that was my turning point, and I decided to go like becoming a freelance. I had to do a lot of homework for this transition. I had to understand a little bit how business works in Israel, how to tax stuff and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's about opening a business. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
definitely. And I just basically I had two services I sold. One of them was advertisement services. I took businesses and gave them the customers. I managed all the campaigns by myself. And the other one was teaching people how to become advertisers themselves. And I really enjoyed it. But I started my campaigns. I started to get leads for myself and started to do a lot of phone calls. And on the way, I figured out that I'm closing one person out of every 10 leads I get. So I had to improve my sales strategy and sales, like how I do it. So I went into a
Mhm.
consultation in order to learn it better. And right after that, it was crazy. Like from 1 out of 10, I get into 1 out of 5. And 1 month it was 1 out of 3. And then
Wow.
money started to flow in a good way, but
Yeah,
still.
this is. But I
Mhm.
have to stop because this is a great anecdote because you run it through it too fast. Because when you open a business, maybe most of the time, 90% of the business that being open, sales are the main traffic for money for them. Okay,
Mm,
so someone that here listen
yeah.
here and has the dream, to open his business, whatever his dream is about, you have to know sales. Okay,
Definitely.
it's the most important skill that you can have in order to actually see income, have a great income. Because as Amir told here, if he was closing 1 to 10, which means that every 10 conversation, one person was paying him. So while he counted this percentage and double it in 1 to 5, he doubled his income.
Yeah,
Okay. I want
definitely.
people to understand because this is a great, great point. Okay. So go ahead.
It is. And also, sales is not only about business. When you learn sales, and it doesn't have to be like this pushy sales market and sales strategy. You can do it in a soft way, in a true way, like being like you know, not being pushy too much and just being yourself and talking to people out of really caring about them. And that's what I was doing. And well, when you're learning sales, not only your business aspect is getting better, also every other aspect of your life is getting better, because you always have to sell something, right? You have to sell your friends to go out to this bar instead of that bar.
Hmm.
You will have to convince your girlfriend or wife to, I don't know, to buy something you really want, and you have to convince people to work with you. It's like you basically improve your charisma and your influential skills, and that's an important point to make, because sales is not just about business. It's a skill for life, and it will improve most aspects of your life. And well, getting back to my story, which is about to end. um, well, so I started doing this, and the money was greater. I like had a lot of success with it, and I managed to the best point was that I'm not working for anybody else. I'm doing my own stuff. I can take vacations whenever I want with a great salary. And and the most important stuff that is that, like, I felt from the inside building something I truly believe in. You know, I took skills I love to do. I'm a big ADHD guy, so marketing is like perfect for me. I fell in love with it on the first second I started doing it. And it feels like, you know, building something you really want to see in the world later on, and doing it in your own way. Um, and from this point on, things got bigger and bigger, which is nice. But the main point in this story is that in order to become self-employed, you will have to adopt the um, the the mindset of always growing and always learning new stuff in order to keep the pace, like keep a fast pace. And you will always have to like solve problems. But the good news is that you will do it on your own way, and you will love every second of it, and you will be able to choose to get up in the morning in a game mode and not in a working mode. And
Totally.
this is great
Totally.
news. I think we're out of time, but
Yeah.
let's just recap. On the next episode, we'll hear about Shachav's story. It's an interesting one.
Prepare your kids, prepare your wife. It's about to get
It's a good
a
story over
secret.
there. Yeah, but meanwhile, if you can take something with you, is that you can write down whatever is your true passion and whatever you really want to do in your life, and the big changes you want to see in the world and in your own lives, and just like starting to imagine how it could get into your life. On this podcast, we're about to teach you a lot of stuff that are like related to this transition from being an employee into a self-employed. And that's it. Like, stick with us. Anything else you have to say?
Make sure to subscribe and share this podcast with someone that you love. that shares the same feeling as you. Like you want to find more about how to do the transition from 9 to 5 to self-employed, and you wanted someone to guide him through the process and listen to someone who is in the process and was in the process of doing it. So hope you enjoy and have a good day.
Have a good day, guys. Good luck until next time.